So, I heard you wanted to write the next great American novel. Well, you've come to the right place. I know right now you may be experiencing writer's block, but don't worry, after watching this video, that won't last. As quoted from Elle about The Gravedigger's Daughter by Joyce Carol Oates, Oates reminds us that you can build a great American novel around a woman's consciousness. Keeping that in mind, you must remember that failures will eventually lead to success. As promised earlier, this video will help you achieve success in your writing. Joyce Carol Oates did have an advantage when writing her stories, her family history. The Gravedigger's Daughter is loosely based around her own grandmother's life, Blanche Morgenstern. Having a personal connection to her writing helped Oates to establish her ideas, her plots, and her character. Oates interviewed her grandmother before writing this book, which helped her to understand the point of the story before she started writing it. Now, most of you guys probably don't have family relatives available for interview, but if your book has history in it, I recommend thoroughly researching your topic beforehand. This how-to video will also help struggling authors, like yourself, to make their big break into the world of literature. Growing up, Oates was always into reading and writing. She especially enjoyed reading articles by Henry David Thoreau, a known transcendentalist. When she was just 15, she was given a typewriter by her grandmother, which became a frequently used object for many years to come. She also attended a small high school, which allowed her to get more attention and feedback on her writing. Joyce Carol Oates lived a relatively normal life. She grew up in Millersport, a small town in New York, with her two younger siblings and both her parents. Her mother stayed at home, and her father was a tool and die designer, a working-class job. Her younger sister, Lynn Ann, who is severely autistic, was the only challenge in her family's life. Looking back, Oates characterized her family as a happy, close-knit, and unextraordinary family for her time, place, and economic status. After graduating from high school, Oates went on to attend Syracuse University, which she later stated was a very exciting place academically and intellectually. In 1960, she graduated from Syracuse University as valedictorian with a degree in English. A year later, she received her MA from the University of Wisconsin-Madison. She was a PhD student at Rice University when she decided to become a full-time writer. Overall, I recommend going to a good college with a great writing curriculum. In The Gravedigger's Daughter, the main character is Rebecca Schwartz, who lives a depressing and complex life. Rebecca and her family emigrated from Germany to a small town in New York, where they are frequently faced with discrimination from other townspeople. Rebecca is forced to grow up in a tiny house on a cemetery because her father is the town's gravedigger. These living conditions created a void between Rebecca and other children, making her an outcast. After a horrendous tragedy strikes her family, Rebecca is forced to make it on her own in America. This leads to a young, independent character with much hatred and anger in her heart. The plot in The Gravedigger's Daughter is different from most books, which is why it is particularly considered a great American novel. This book starts with a flashback and then goes into an action currently taking place in Rebecca's life. This enables readers to get a better understanding of the main character's life. The book is then split up into parts, first focusing on her childhood and then eventually on her adulthood. Doing this allows readers to create a picture of the plot and the characters in their own heads. Joyce Carol Oates wrote about particular themes in her book, which helped her to be viewed as a great American author. Most of her books focused on different classes in American society, race, religion, work, and family dynamics and relationships, all of which played a major role in American lives. Focusing on these themes will help readers relate to your story and its characters. Using your own life or stories in your life are always an option. and they might allow you to dig deeper and to be creative, like the gravedigger's daughter. In the first flashback, her father says, "In animal life, the weak are quickly disposed of. So you must hide your weaknesses, Rebecca. We must." This line gives way to her traumatic and saddening childhood that readers will soon read about. Doing this will give readers a chance to create an idea of what they are about to read. Just like Rebecca's childhood and life, American society allows no weaknesses. History has no existence. All that exists are individuals, and of these, only individual moments as broken off from one another as shattered vertebrae. These words he hand-printed, gripping a pencil clumsily in his stiffening fingers. He had so many thoughts. In the cemetery, his head was invaded by hornet thoughts he could not control. Clumsily, he wrote down these thoughts. He wondered if they were his. He stared at them and pondered them, then crumpled the paper in his hand and tossed it into the stove. This quote was taken from The Gravedigger's Daughter, about Mr. Schwartz and his new life in America. Overall, this video and analysis of The Gravedigger's Daughter and its plot, characters, and theme will give you a better understanding on how to write the next great American novel. Good luck!
Are you ready to learn how to write a great American author's book?
No, Anna!
Go.
Scene 1, take 1! Okay. As quoted from Elle about The Gravedigger's Daughter by Joyce Carol Oates, Joyce Carol Oates did have an advantage when writing her stories, her family history. Gravedigger's Daughter